Everyone is walking into builder sales centers right now with one number in their head, 13%. And they're thinking, okay, the prices just dropped. Great. Where do I sign? But I've been watching what builders are actually doing with their pricing, and the answer is a little bit more complicated than that. Because here's the thing, a tax change doesn't automatically mean a price change. And if you don't understand why, you could walk out of the sales center thinking you've got a deal when the numbers haven't really moved at all. Hey, it's Andrew with DNA Homes, and I help people make smart real estate decisions here in Guelph and the surrounding area. In the last video, we broke down what the HST Holiday actually is, the two parts, who qualifies, and why it's not as simple as everyone saves 13%. If you haven't watched that one yet, I'll link it at the end. It's definitely worth the 10 minutes before you walk into a builder's office. But today, we're going one step further, because once people understand the HST piece, the next question I always get is, okay, so are builders actually dropping their prices because of this? And the short answer is some are and some aren't. And some are using it in ways that are worth understanding before you sit down across from a sales rep. So let's get into it. But before we do, if you're actively looking for new construction right now in Guelph, Kitchener, Cambridge, or anywhere else in this region, feel free to reach out. My team and I talk to buyers about exactly this stuff every day, and we'll be happy to walk you through your specific situation. No pressure, the link's in the description. So let's start with a quick reset on how builder pricing works, because this is the foundation of everything. When a builder lists a new home at, say, $750,000, that price typically already includes HST. It's baked in. It's not listed separately at the bottom like a restaurant bill. The builder has accounted for it, and the price you see is the price you pay, taxes included. Now, there were already rebates in place before the HST Holiday came along. We talked about this in video 1. For buyers under certain thresholds, some of that HST was already rebated, particularly for first-time homebuyers through the federal side. So the question becomes, now that there's a new, broader provincial rebate in play, are builders reducing their prices to reflect that? Or are they just keeping what they were already collecting? Because those two are very different things. Here's where it gets interesting and honestly a bit human. Because builders are not a monolith. They're individual businesses with different margins, different inventory pressures, and different marketing strategies. So what we're seeing right now is really 3 different responses playing out all at the same time. Some builders are genuinely adjusting their pricing, or at least their incentive package, to reflect the HST change. You might see this as a reduced list price, or more commonly as enhanced upgrades, reducing closing cost, or capped development charges. It's not always a straight price drop. It's more like the same home with a better deal underneath it. These are the situations where buyers are actually coming out ahead, and they do exist. Then you have the builders who are just holding. The prices haven't moved. The rebate is still available to the buyer, that's real, but the builder isn't doing anything differently. They're not adjusting the prices down. They're not adding incentives. The tax relief flows to you, but the builder's margin stays exactly where it was. Which is their right, but you should know that's what's happening. And then there's the third group, and this is the one that's most important to understand. These are the builders who are using the HST Holiday as a marketing lever. The ad looks like this: save 13% on your new home. The banners are up, the sales reps are trained to lead into it, but when you actually look at the price, it hasn't moved from where it was 3 months ago. What's changed is the framing, the savings narrative, the urgency, and for buyers who don't know the history of what that home was priced at 6 months ago, and most buyers don't, it can feel like a deal when it really isn't one. This isn't like a sale at Costco where everything is suddenly 13% off. It's more like they moved the sign and you're trying to figure out what actually changed. Now, I want to be fair to builders here, because this isn't just about them being opportunistic. There are real pressures on their side too. Some builders are sitting on a lot of unsold units right now. When inventory piles up, the pressure to move it increases, And that's when you're more likely to see genuine pricing flexibility or meaningful incentive packages. If a builder has 40 units they need to sell before they can close out and move on to the next phase, they're more motivated than a builder who has already sold 80% of the development before it even broke ground. Builder margins were already under pressure before this. Higher construction costs, labor, materials. The HST change helps buyers, but it doesn't reduce what it costs to build the home. So a builder can't just slash prices by 13% and maintain the same economics. Something has to give, and usually what gives is the incentive package, not the headline price. This is probably the most practical thing I can tell you in this video. When a builder offers you free upgrades worth $30,000, that's not the same as $30,000 off the price. The upgrade has a cost to the builder, but it's not dollar for dollar matched to what it would cost you if you were to add it yourself later. And it doesn't reduce your mortgage principal. A $30,000 price reduction reduces what you borrow. It reduces your interest over the life of the mortgage. It's real transferable money. A $30,000 upgrade package is valuable, don't get me wrong, but it's a different kind of valuable, and builders know that. It's why incentives are almost always structured as upgrades, not price cuts. So when you're sitting across from a sales rep and they're walking you through the savings, you want to understand exactly what form those savings are taking. Here's the practical takeaway. The HST Holiday is a real benefit. If you qualify, and we covered who qualified in video 1, you are genuinely paying less tax on a new home than you would have before April 1st, 2026. But whether the builder has passed on additional savings on top of that depends entirely on which of those 3 categories they fall into. The way you protect yourself is by knowing what that home was priced at before the HST Holiday was announced. And that's where having someone in your corner, someone who is not the builder's sales rep, actually matters. I've sat in enough sales centers to know that the presentation is designed to make you feel like you're getting a deal. That's not cynicism, that's just how sales work. Your job is to know the actual numbers. And this actually brings us to something even bigger, because we've been talking about HST, which is a tax, and taxes can change. Governments can create holidays and governments can end them. But there's another cost baked into the price of every new home in Ontario, one that most buyers have literally never heard of, one that can be $70,000 to $100,000 or more, and it has nothing to do with HST. In the next video, I'm going to break down what development charges are, how they work, what's currently being proposed to change them, and what that means for anyone thinking about buying new construction in this market. It's the video I wish every buyer watched before they walked into a sales center. I'll link it right here, and I'll see you there. And if you've got questions about your specific situation, your numbers, your market, your timeline, feel free to reach out. The link's in the description. Because in real estate, the difference between a good deal and a great deal is usually just knowing what questions to ask before you sign anything.